What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff Gamble joining you from Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. We are going to get things rolling, and we're going over law number 4 today, the law of navigation. Get some invites going here. It's Monday. I have my Need Coffee shirt on. Most people do need coffee Monday. So we're going to get rolling. Welcome, welcome. Roxanne is watching. Hello, hello. John's here with us. What's happening? John, what is going on? It's Monday. Ready to crush it again. That call yesterday, by the way, was good. I'm talking about the one at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. your time. Becky is with us. Hello. Guys, we have about 30 more seconds and we're going to get things rolling. Adrian's with us. Hello, hello. So what you want to do is grab a pen and a piece of paper. Make sure you have the ability to take some notes. We're going to be going over the law of navigation today, which is law number 4. Inside the 21 laws. There she is. Joyce is with us. Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome this Monday.
Stephanie's here.
We are Bess McCarty of MLM Millionaire Club and Jeffrey David Gamble of My Leadership Network, also a certified John Maxwell trainer. We're happy to partner and bring you this generic training every Monday, weekday, noon Eastern time, connected with the Facebook group MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. So I want to acknowledge the people who are consistent and showing up so often on these shows. That shows that you have the discipline for success and the consistency. And getting your personal growth with us here every lunchtime. Our purpose to help people grow, to educate, empower, and equip entrepreneurs and create independent servant leaders, and certainly to raise the bar in this profession. If you're watching the replay, we'd love if you type in replay. And love to know where you're from. And Jeff, the law number 4, navigation.
Yep. So here we go. A leader sees more, sees further, and sees before everyone else, which is the law of navigation. John goes into learning the law of navigation. He says the law of navigation, anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. So you can give everybody the front of the room, but knowing where to go and when to go is different. Navigation requires preparation. A leader, is one who sees what's going on. Number 2, navigation requires a vision of the future. To be able to understand. So when we talk about navigation inside of direct sales, navigation is not just building to the next level, but navigation is really building your dream. What do you really want out of what you're doing? That's kind of the most important part of the law of navigation, because we can put you in front of the best vehicle in the world. We can put you in front of a comp plan that can pay you unlimited. We can put you in front of a business that'll pay you from anywhere that you can build it, or anybody that you can touch on inside of Facebook and bring onto your team. But it really takes a vision and a dream to understand where you're going to keep building, to keep in front of what you're doing. Number 3, navigation requires reflection of the past to kind of understand where you're at, to be able to move forward. So you need to learn from your past. It says learn from your past mistakes. John wrote another book called Everybody Wins, or sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Sometimes it's not so much that you've made a mistake that you can't get past. It's just you made a mistake that teaches you don't go that way. Don't go in that direction. In his book, Failing Forward, he has a great story about a guy who walks down a street and falls into a hole. And, you know, he gets out the next week, and the next week he walks down the street and falls in the hole. And this happens like 3 weeks in a row. And the fourth week, he's like, okay, what I'll do is I'll walk around the hole. Fourth week, he goes down, falls in the hole. And the fifth week, he stops going down that street. So eventually, you know, you have to understand, and certain, you know, certain people on here, me included, it was hard for me to learn some of these lessons. You know, I thought I was going to be able to circumvent the system that they were telling me. I thought that I was going to be able to navigate with my friends who were going in the wrong direction. I thought I could bring them with me on the ship. You know, hey, get in. And, you know, certain people, I'm sure, have done this too, where you're dragging a friend because, you know, they were ones who started with you. And what I learned from John is not everybody who starts the journey is going to finish the journey with you. In fact, a lot of people who go to climb the mountain will only get to base camp. Some people will just get to the edge of the curb to watch you, you know, watch you basically drive away. Hi, Julie's with us. Thanks for joining us. That's just kind of how it is. And you have to be prepared for the journey. You know, just the navigation part is part of it, but be prepared for the journey long term. Living this law. So leading influence requires continual preparation. So it's not something you plan out once. That's why, you know, in what Bess and I are doing with the MLM Millionaire Club and what we're doing with Quick Start Basic class is one of the key factors is, you know, being able to run a map every month. You know, you have a map every month, and then basically we're going to do this also at our convention, our generic convention that goes over what to do, how to do, when to do inside of your direct sales business. It's called the Achievement Summit. In the Achievement Summit, we're going to be going over some of this planning that you need to be doing, and it helps you set your vision, but it plans your course. Follow this acronym for planning ahead. So planning ahead, the P, predetermine a course of action. Where are you going and what are you doing? A lot of people kind of get fuzzy with this. And this is why I think, and I was just kind of making an analogy to my friend the other night, I think this is why it's so important for us in direct sales being able to actually physically draw out a comp plan and being able to understand what you're doing and not just showing a video and not just flipping through stuff, but physically being able to draw it out and show people, because what it does is it allows you to predetermine exactly what's going to happen, and it shows you how it grows, how it builds, where the money comes from. L, lay out your goals. There's probably not an achievement-based book that I know of. There's probably not a motivational speaker or an inspirational speaker that doesn't talk about goals. John goes on to talk not just about goals, but to talk about growth. He's like, you don't just want to set a predetermined place, but you want to see how far can you go with that information. Hi, Lori, how are you? The A, adjust your priorities. You know, this is something that many of us have to do. Hi, Patricia. This is something that many of us have to do. We have to adjust our priorities, what's important. You know, Bess and I talked about this when we started this particular show, is what we're going to have to do is adjust some of what we're doing, you know, when we're going to be doing things. You know, I basically had been setting up my day to start right at 1 o'clock, which I still try to do for my massage business. So that way I can get everything done, you know, before, you know, noon, grab some food, get everything ready, and then right into my day with, you know, my holistic health practice, massage, Reiki, setting things up, putting out ads. And I had to adjust my day so that way we had Monday through Friday available at noon. And Bess can go into, you know, what she had to do as well with that. And notify key personnel. There's certain people you want to be accountable to. There's certain people, obviously, somebody like a spouse or significant other that you live in the same household with, your kids. You might want to, you know, tell the cats and the dogs, hey, guys, here's what we're doing. Here's when we're doing it. You need to figure this out. Here's when we're going to eat, because you're going to change some schedules. You're going to reprioritize. When I started building my direct sales business for the first time, one of the things I did is I grew up watching TV because that's what my mom did. We came home, we turned the TV on. We didn't talk to each other. And nobody talked to each other in the household. And basically the TV was on, and the TV was supposed to be the entertainment. It was supposed to be, you know, everything, because it kind of let you like drift off and not really think. In reality, it programmed you for the rest of the night. So what we do is then we'd go, we'd talk, and it was a typical conversation. Talk about planning and not having navigation. It started out like this. Hey, are you guys hungry? Yeah, I guess. Are you hungry? Yeah, I guess. And here's the thing. It's funny because nobody wants to make a decision, right? What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. And then finally it's like, well, what about this? I don't know. You know, does that sound good? What about this? I don't know. You know, and then it came down to, well, here's what I want. Well, we don't have that, you know. Well, okay, so what do we have? Well, we have a bunch of condiments. We could make a condiment sandwich or a condiment quiche. You know, it was always funny that there was never something specific that we had. No plan, nothing that we had, you know, put together. And then finally it was like, well, okay, well, are you hungry now or are you hungry later? I don't know. Are you hungry now? And I mean, nobody wants to make a decision. Eventually, you know, put something together. We eat, we walk out, we watch TV. And then, you know, it eventually drifts off. So one of the things I realized is I got into such a habit of doing that. Talk about setting priorities and making adjustments. I got rid of the TV. There was about a period of 15 years, which is funny because right now there's a giant TV sitting next to me in my room. And what I do is I got rid of TV so I wouldn't watch shows, but I would watch movies. Movies was kind of my escape, but I like the fact that because the movie is like 2 hours and then it's over. So it kind of let me predetermine exactly what I'm doing for an amount of time. So that's kind of how I started controlling what to do, because if you have Netflix and you have Hulu and you have Amazon and you have cable, once you turn that thing on, it's really hard to get away from, because then you can flip through and there's another show, and then you can flip through and there's another show, and then you can flip through and there's another show, and the whole evening, the weekend's over. I was one of those people that like Lord of the Rings or Ferris Bueller's Day Off was on, and I was like, well, it wouldn't hurt to watch the end of this. And then all of a sudden it's a long series. So like, oh wow, they're playing 2 and 3. Well, if I watch 1, I have to watch 2 and 3 to know you already know the ending. You probably already saw the movies, but you'll watch them again just to see, you know, just to get that good feeling again. Tony Robbins kind of talks about that and jokingly says, you've already seen it, go watch something else. So notify key personnel. Allow time for acceptance. So when you tell people, hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, this is my dream. This is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build my business to $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $8,000. I'm going to replace my income. If you've said stuff like that before, you have to give it time for acceptance. Here's the easiest way to give it time for acceptance. Go out and do the work. Never be home. Don't answer the phone. Don't be around talking still about what you're going to do. Go out and do it. Be gone. Be unavailable. And all of a sudden, people will get the hint a lot faster that you're serious about what you're doing. And that doesn't mean go hide in the garage and, you know, not answer the phone and pull your card and not let anybody know where you're at. Although I do know a networker who did that. You know, he decided he was going to go out and he finally wanted to stay home. And he had neighbors driving by making fun of him. So he pulled his car in and hid in his garage. He's like, it was the only way to get away from everybody. Don't fake it till you make it. Just go out and do it. Head into action. That's something, especially for new people, because you learn a bunch of different things. You don't know what to head into action doing first. What my mentor told me is he's like, just start getting in front of people. Just start contacting. The only thing that's profitable inside of this business, inside of this industry, initially when you're new, is getting in front of another person. That's what you want to be doing, getting in front of another person to be able to share with them what you do. Tom's with us. What's happening? Expect problems. Guys, it's not going to go smooth. In fact, many times when you set a goal and you announce it to the world basically tests you. It's like the moment you say, here's what I'm going to do, and everything's going to go right, and boom, the tire goes out, and the washing machine stops working, and somebody gets sick, and you get a call that somebody needs your help. It's kind of the world's way of saying, how serious are you? Are you going to get distracted by the everyday things that happen to everybody, or are you going to be so focused that you're able to figure out what's going on and you can deal with it? Always point to success. You have to be pointed in the direction of your dreams and goals, because the moment you take your eye off your dream, we used to do this analogy or do this visual for people. I said, okay, I want you to look at the left wall and I want you to look at the right wall. Now look at both simultaneously. And the reality is if there's a wall on your right side and there's a wall on your left side and the room's big enough, you can't see both simultaneously unless you're at the very back of the room, right? But you can't look at a picture on the left and look at a picture on the right and describe both. Because if the left side is negative, and it doesn't matter which side you choose, but if the left side is negative and the right side is positive, you will have to focus on one of the pictures if you really want to describe the picture. And the key to success is keeping all of your energy, all of your focus. Camille's with us. What's happening? All of your focus on one of those pictures. And what most of us have done is the problem picture is 10x10, takes up the whole wall, is in high definition, 4K, ultra color, and it seemingly seems like your vision picture is a 2x2, black and white, if you remember these, slide projector, kind of picture, and you're trying to focus on your dream. You want to make the dream big enough, vivid enough, full enough that without any problem you can describe it clearly. And that's why we spend so much time working on the dream, is to be able to look in the right direction, focus on the right things. Most of us take, this is why they say you take your eye off your dream, what happens? D, daily review. Daily review your plan. Every single day you have to sit down and actually review that plan, go over what's going on. In the book Think and Grow Rich, it actually says you should review that every morning and every evening. Every morning and every evening you should review where you're going, how you're going, what your dream is, what your goals are, and what your plan is. Every day you should review that. Now, my mentor told me you want to actually have a plan laid out the day before the day begins. Because if you lay out your plan the day before the day begins, then you're ready to start your day and you already know what you're doing and how you're doing. Bess would like to be, yes, approve. You want to lay it out the day before, so plan your day before the day begins. I was also told plan your week before the week begins. I was also told plan your month before the month begins, and then plan your year before the year begins. Now, why do you want to do all that way? He said, because if you're starting out your plan in the morning and something happens in the morning before you get to your plan, what happens is your day is controlled by circumstance rather than by design of what you want to do. And it made a lot of sense. So he's like, if you need to make calls Tuesday, you should have not only the time blocked out for the calls you're going to make, but you should also have who you're going to call already. If you already have who you're going to call already done for Tuesday, then you can basically just open up your planner and make calls. And here's the thing, if you chose how many calls you're going to make, if you know what your outcome's already going to be, then you can open up, boom, go for it. So that's kind of what my mentors taught me. Kathy's with us. How you doing? That's what my mentors taught me about how to get the most out of your day, out of what you're doing. So that is the acronym for Plan Ahead. And he says, careful reflection means don't learn the wrong lessons. Most of us know exactly what not to do too well. Fail forward. So just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean it won't work out in the future. And then keep success in perspective. Keep it in perspective of what's going on. People are like, oh my gosh, it's the worst day ever. Well, if most of us threw our problems into the middle and we had to pick out somebody else's, once you see what everybody else's problems are, you probably will want yours back, because you'd be amazed at how many people figure out ways around things, and with the right attitude, and you don't even know what they're going through, because certain people who are leading, I found people who are running for their dream don't necessarily share all the garbage along the way. They kind of, they deal with what needs to be dealt with, they share what needs to be shared, but they keep their eye on the dream and they move as many people in the direction of their dreams and of their goals as possible. And with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Bess before we finish out with leading others to the law of navigation.
Great. What great tips not to get distracted by the drama or spend too much time on it, other than just take care of what's needed, but not to dwell on it. Awesome. Want to say hi to Adrian, Donald, Joyce, John, Patricia, Mary, and Thomas. So glad, and James. So glad you guys are here. And we love the likes and loves. Love to know where you're from. Love to hear any questions shortly. So if you have a takeaway or a question, we'd like to address those. And if you're getting value, we'd love if you hit like or share or comment, or just leave your favorite emoji so we know you're still on with us. So planning ahead. In history, lives have been lost on expeditions by leaders not planning ahead. They've actually frozen and died and had great hardships by not thinking things out, not looking ahead at the temperatures, the food supply, the number of men they could take. That can be costly, right? Can cost a lot of pain and a lot of lives. In network marketing, it could cost your family's welfare. It could cost thousands, maybe even millions of dollars of not planning ahead. So when a network marketer decides to grow their business big or even do a challenge, a lot of times you have to negotiate full-time job, family, growing a new business, and how do you do all that? Well, like Jeff has said, if you notify the key personnel, notify your family what you want to do, and negotiate chores and see how you can share them. See if you can delegate and say, I want to do this for our family. This is a goal that I have so that we can have a better life. Can we temporarily all pitch in and work until I can work past, or till we can work past the need to have a job? You know, we're kind of going to double up our efforts for a few years here. Who can do this or that chore? How can we delegate it? How can we outsource that? How can we free up the time? So that's notifying and anticipating interruptions, because like Jeff said, you think I'm going to go from A to B, no problem, right? But there's always 100% guaranteed, you guys, always hills and valleys in between, and turns and twists and unexpected stuff. So allow for that, plan for that in your time frame that you expect, in your expectations. And also, what are we going to do if you know, something comes up, or there's an interruption or interrupts our goals or our challenges? How will we handle that? Who will handle that? Sort of like having a fire escape plan, right? At a school, like a fire drill. What will we do when the unexpected happens? Because it always does. I've coached a lot of people through challenges in network marketing. I say, count on this. Count on huge interruptions trying to get in your way, trying to distract you, trying to pull off. So count on that. In the past, you know, it's cost those explorer their lives, but the cost can be less to us, but we plan for that. So we expect them, we plan for them, and yet don't overplan. Robert Kiyosaki says, if you're driving to California, get in your car and start going there. You know, don't wait until you can know every tumbleweed that's going to be on the way. I said, all you need to do, you know, you're driving at night, your headlights are on. All you need to do is you need to see just 100 feet down the road, how to navigate that. You don't have to see every bit of the way down the road. You can encounter or handle obstacles as they come up. So what he was saying was, just don't overplan. Don't get paralysis, analysis paralysis, and you don't have to have it perfect, and you don't always have to know every bit of how. You just have to know where you're going, and begin to take steps in that direction. So I'll turn it back over to Jeff here.
So guys, learning the law of navigation. To navigate for others, you must be prepared and know your craft. So knowing, you know, the company you're in and what you're doing. I always talk about, you know, getting to your first position. You want to get to your first position, you want to get paid and promoted. And then you want to teach other people to hit that first position and get paid and promoted. Most of us get lost in the details beyond that. You know, we're talking about, oh, well, here's how to get to this level. And did you know about this bonus? And you know about this? Well, just getting people to make that first step. Guys, it's so easy to get to the first step. It's so easy to get your first couple people. It's so easy to get your first couple customers. It's so easy to get here. When you focus all your energy on talking about the easy or the simple way to get to the first position, and you just focus on helping a bunch of people get to that first position and having those promotions at that position, that's where the explosion happens. You don't have to get to some of the higher positions are nothing more than helping a lot of people get to the first position. So if you want to hit level 2, 4, 8, 25, whatever your company has, you just want to get a bunch of people to that first position. You want to be really good at navigating. And what I say, not only navigating, but being able to overcome all the objections, which is navigation, to get to that first position. That's everything for those people. Some people won't want to go. You can't force people to go to the first position. You can't force people to get to the training. What I did is I started asking a very simple question. I said, do I have your permission? Do I have your permission to tell you about every single thing that's going on in the business? Do I have your permission to inform you and give you the information on everything that's going on and what's important to be on? And then you make a decision whether you can be there or not. I just want to make sure that you have all the information of where to get to. It's up to you to be able to do it. What that did is that freed me up to be able to inform people about what's going on at any time. It allowed me some freedom because I felt like I didn't, several of us, I'm sure you feel like, well, I don't want to bug the person that I recruited. I don't want to bug my team about what's going on. I don't want to, be that person that's always like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? When I said, do I have your permission to inform you about everything and keep you up to date on what's going on? And they gave me permission. At that point, it completely freed me up. I have their permission now to inform them about everything that's going on. So that allowed me to navigate much easier. It allowed me to promote what's going on much easier because I had everybody's permission. And I did this with each person that I sat down with. It was one of the 5 questions that I always would ask. Listen for things like, my people will do anything I say, but I have to tell them, hey, listen. If you have people who are doing what you say, that's good. If you have to tell people 700 times, that's normal. That's just usually what happens. That's what promotion's about, is you don't play a commercial once. The commercials play consistently. The commercials play on every channel. The commercials don't only play on TV, but they play on the radio. The commercials are also in newspapers and magazines and everywhere. So if you think about promotion, if you think about, trying to get somebody informed about what's going on, it's multiple platforms. It's multiple platforms. It's multiple times. It's repetition. The commercial doesn't change every time the commercial plays. It's really the same commercial over and over again, which is just like an infomercial. They don't change the infomercial every time you watch it. It's the same infomercial taped once, played over and over and over again on a loop at the same time. I'm not even sure what I need to do next. You have a lot of people who get there. I'm not even sure what I need to do next. I got in and I got to my first position. Here's what I can tell you. Do it again. Do it again. People would go, okay, I got in and I got my 3, because I was in a company that had 3 a long time ago. I got in, I got my 3, I got my promotion. I got paid. Did you get paid? Yeah, I got paid. They're like, I just don't know what to do now. I said, well, remember, this is a business of duplication. Like, yeah. I'm like, what do you think you need to do? They're like, I have no idea. I said, how about we just duplicate what you just did? They're like, amazing. Oh my gosh, I know how to do that. I'm like, exactly. They're like, yeah, but that would mean I have 6 people. Well, you probably need more than 3, right? Because, 3 people, one wanders off into the woods, one never gets started, one gets in their car and forgets where they are. So you want to have more than 3 people. Would it make sense that if attrition happens and you're going to lose one of them anyway, to replace that one before you even lose them? That's called, momentum, putting a lot of people together at the same time quickly. Brian's with us. What's happening? So a lot of people say, well, I'm in over my head. There's just so much information here. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. That's okay. But just think, what does it take to get to the first position? What does it take to get paid? If you just focus on that, if that is your goal, if that's the only thing that you want to do, if that's the only thing you need to do, is just get in, get to that first position, get paid, get promoted. What I found is when all of your, Marty jumped on and I hit something and it went away. It wasn't your fault. When you want it to move fast, just focus all your energy on that first position of getting momentum by basically getting that promotion and then doing it again and then doing it again and then doing it again. In fact, if that's all, if you just focus on that, think about it. If it took 3 people, I'm just saying, because everybody's company is different. Sometimes it takes 2, sometimes it takes 4, but let's just say it takes 3. If you focus on 3 people to get your first paycheck and promotion, and this is the business of duplication, and you just do that every month, then what are you teaching your team to do? To promote every month. You're like, look, I did it again. 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 Okay. What happens is the more times you do that, the easier it looks and the easier it becomes to everybody else, because you're like, if this person can do this consistently and they have everything else going on in their life, because nowadays we show everything that we're going on in our life, usually on Facebook, the belief happens. Now, not only can you do it, but when you start helping other people do it, the greatest gift you can give your team is consistency. The greatest gift you can give your team is consistency. Here's what to do, here's what to do, here's what to do, here's what to do. And that what to do is the same every time. Every time. Here's how to contact, here's how to invite, here's how to present. Here's how to contact, here's how to invite, here's how to present. Well, what do I do after the presentation? Here's how to do the third party. Here's how to get them to an event. And if you get enough people to events, they will get in and get started. Well, you know, what do I say when you get there? Just make sure you get there. Just make sure you get there. You don't have to know what to say, because once you lead somebody to an event, it is truly up to them to make the decision at that point, and it's up to the presenter, the upline, and everybody else that you introduce them to come in to help. Now, if they don't, then we need to have another conversation. But most of the time, if you can get them there into the event, you're going to be in good shape. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Bess for some closing thoughts, and we're going to wrap this one up.
Thanks for all these reminders that including even navigation means doing the basic things over and over again. Jeff recommended a video with Dexter Yeager, and I've been enjoying, well, a couple of videos, been enjoying them. And Dexter was with Amway years ago. He became multi-millionaire, possibly the highest paid person so far in network marketing, or one of the highest. And so he's like, man, must be close to being a billionaire or something. I don't know, but very high up there. He had so much money, he was buying businesses right and left without even, you know, investigating them too much, letting other people decide, buying these businesses, 30 cars and all this stuff. So he just had, you know, he's just having fun with it. And even at that stage, he said, I'm still bringing people into the business every day. I'm still bringing people in. Right? Not because he had to, because he wanted to help people. So he was just on automatic, man, from all those years. That's what got him there, and he taught his people to be on automatic. But it was just in his blood by that time. I think it was as normal as breathing, as to bring people in. And he said, even my son, you know, at this point, I think he was proud because he did $600 income or volume that month or something like that, just starting out. And so he was very proud of him. So you know, even people at the very top, they're still doing the darn basics, right? So fall in love with the basics and teach them to your people, and rinse and repeat. Do rinse, repeat. And of course, review, because that's part of getting a little better every day. Even after years and years and years, even after 30, 40 years, we can still improve a little bit every day and say, how could that have been done better? I know that there's one fellow that after every presentation that he did, he said to himself, okay, what went well and what could I have done better? Always seeking to improve. And navigation, law of navigation, I think includes keeping the vision, helping your people keep the vision, helping them keep their vision in mind, and also see the pitfalls. The other day I was coaching a client, and I pointed out something to her that could have been a big pitfall down the line, and she said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for having my back. So this is part of the law of navigation, is anticipating these things to come up, because you've been down the road a little further than your team has, and you can see things that they haven't yet, or you can learn from your upline and other people and shows like this, right? And learning from Jeff and all of his stories. So you can learn where the pitfalls might be, help your team to anticipate them. I've done that for people, and Jeff has helped me do that for some of my clients. Very important. It can save them years of effort and even a lot of money. Closing thoughts. If you're not yet a member of the Facebook group, MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show, you can go there and request membership, and then we can add you in. That gives you the notifications, the replays, the free book to follow along, and the community support and discussion there. So it's an awesome group. Over 300 now, growing fast. People are bringing their teams, bringing friends in. Thanks, Joyce. Thanks for the likes and loves, everybody. And I did want to say hi to Travis, Becky, and Marty. So glad that you're here. If anyone wants to be on my text list to get a reminder right before these shows, be glad to do that. Just private message me. And back to Jeff.
All right, guys. So tomorrow we're going to be going over law number 5, the law of addition, how to add to what you're doing, add the people. Just appreciate Bess for, you know, her insights and what she's done to put this together and help on the back end and the front side, you know, because what you don't see is, you know, keeping up with all the details, navigating, putting the show together, and putting some other things that we're doing together, you know, helping basically pull this off so that way we have, you know, smooth calls, smooth shows, and all the details. So, you know, learning to navigate, you know, around not just one person, but, you know, being able to work together is another, it's a trick to pull this all off. I like this. I was looking at navigation quotes, and this comes from Tim Burton of all people. He said, one person's craziness is another person's reality. And I think that's so true. And sometimes you just don't know what's going on and where to go and how it works. And I like funny t-shirts. I've got a t-shirt on right now of a minion that says need coffee. And we were at Cracker Barrel yesterday, and I thought this was really good. It says, this guy says, if on life support, do not resuscitate, please unplug and plug back in and see if that works. So, you know, what does that have to do with navigation? You know, some people, when you're out there, just have fun along the way. That's the point. It is a journey. It's not a one-day trip. It's kind of the marathon rather than the sprint, but in the marathon, you will have sprints. And we're just trying to give you some of the tools it's going to take to be able to get the, you know, the job done. So appreciate everybody for jumping on. Hope you guys have a great day. Have a good Monday, and we will see everyone tomorrow. Thank you.